gate going 10-8.
What's up, guys? This video is about the Wouxun KG-UV6X dual band radio. Another high value, low budget radio that you could operate with during a disaster, or first time ham operators, or whatever. So this is very similar to the KG-UV6 Delta model, which is marketed towards hams and just regular operators out there, civilians. The UV6X is their latest and greatest. It's actually made and imported by for this US company called PowerWorks, and I'll link the description in the bottom, or the address, but they pretty much told Wouxun some specification that they would want for their radio that they want to distribute. So they wanted better filters, better electronics, and a wider span of frequency band. Like this one here goes from 136 to 174 megahertz for VHF band, and for the UHF band it goes from 400 to 511. I think it goes a little bit more, but my radio is not tuning into it for whatever reason. But anyway, it's expanded even more, and I don't need to modify it or do some software magic to it to open up all those channels. It already comes built like that. This radio here is a Part 95 radio, which is regulated towards commercial and public safety government agencies and stuff like that. So and it costs maybe $50 more than the KG-UV6X model. So I'm able to tune into all those channels, the FRS, GMRS, MURS, all those services that I've mentioned in prior videos that you're not allowed to, but you know, it's there. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm sure with some software magic you could open up the frequency band for those other models, the UV6 Delta that's offered to the public, general public, or you can find cheaper, really. And I'm going to compare this radio to the TYT radio that I've featured before, and the VX7R Yaesu amateur. So this is pretty much what they look like side by side. The Yaesu VX7R is smaller and thinner. This is the Wouxun, or the Wouxun, or however you want to pronounce it. It's a little bit thicker, but it's smaller than the TYT radio. And there it is right there, just a little bit smaller, and about the same thickness as well. The plastic quality, I guess it'll survive a 3-foot drop, but not often, if you know what I mean. Same with the TYT radio. The one difference between the Wouxun and their other versions that compelled me to go ahead and purchase this one is that of course the electronics got a little bit better as far as filtering and stuff like that, and I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. But it's water resistant. The TYT is not water resistant. I would not trust this to go out into the field if it's raining or misty or just humid. The front plate here, the speaker grill, is just wide open. I mean, any little drop there will collect and seep right in there, and moisture damage is the biggest radio killer out there, just about. The Wouxun radio here, it's water resistant to a specific water jet level, where a certain amount of pressure of water being jetted into the grill here would withstand that to a certain degree. It's a specification. I'm not going to look it up. That pretty much coincides with this design of firefighting radio here. This also has some sort of water jet resistant, and the grill here is kind of overlapped and stepped to, if there's any water pulled on here, it's kind of like the eaves of a building or something. It'll just, you know, slick on down the faceplate here. Same with this design here. If there's any water pulled here and you just have it up like this, it's just going to slick on down instead of collect into the grill and seep into your radio. Not true with the TYT radio. I'm not even going to mention the Yaesu radio because this is submergible up to 3 meters for half an hour, and supposedly it will not take any water. This is waterproof, water resistant. The case on the Yaesu is metal alloy, so it's tough as nails. Debatable on this one, including the water resistant qualities of this. So for an average prepper or amateur radio operator, I would think that this is a better deal just for that fact alone. It's a little bit more resistant to the elements out there, and that's very important in my opinion. I get a whole lot of PMs and comments about what gear did I recommend. You know, I really don't like answering that question because everybody's different. If I suggest a certain product to somebody, it may not live up to their expectation. It'll be good enough for me, but not good enough for them. So I kind of want to just show you what I have, what I'm running, or what I'm, you know, seeing out in the field, and then take it from there, and not recommend anything, but kind of show you what's the deal, you know. So you can make your own educated guess about what do you want. What I like to showcase is pretty much a system-based concept of how to operate, what frequency you should use, what kind of specification do you desire to achieve your goals. So all these videos that I've been making in the past up to now is pretty much experimentation on my part of what I want to do. So after some time, somebody's going to come out with a better mousetrap, and I think Wouxun or Wouxun or whatever is leading the pack in making mousetraps over TYT and some of the other Chinese-made manufacturers. They're not going to live up to the Japanese Yaesu or American Kenwood, Comm, and all those other guys. They're in another universe for now. But for somebody that's on a budget or wants something simpler than those other higher makes, and wants some sort of reliability and all that, and also a starter radio that they could use to practice. I mean, if you're a ham radio operator or have a desire to get the license and continue with prepping as far as communication in that aspect, this is a good first time radio to use. It's inexpensive. You could drop it and it won't hurt the pocket too bad. If you drop this and break it, it's going to hurt because this is like $300, $250. This is $170. If you get the 6D version, you probably get it as cheap as $120 to $99. This is probably $75 for now. Who knows? But they're disposable. I consider these radios as good disposable radios that won't hurt the pocket that much. This here is last ditch resort for me, and to be legal out there too if I want to operate as an amateur. The only thing that I recommend is starting off with a cheap radio to practice with until you figure out what is it that you want to accomplish. And with experience, of course, you're going to know what you want. And no use in jumping into a race car like this where you could practice on a pickup truck like this. So that's pretty much where I'm coming from. But you're all adults and you can make your own decisions, I guess. But I give you the information or show you the information out there that I'm sort of getting into. So for everyday usage, I'm going to go with the Wouxun. The two TYT radios that I have, they're still good, but I'm going to use it for other projects. So this is going to go on the wayside for a little bit with other projects. And also, this still has some scrambling. This does not. It's illegal, I know, and you know, I think I may not need the scrambling if things get really bad in a worst case scenario. So that feature there is lessening as far as a feature that I might want, but since I got it, I'm going to keep it. Okay, there's two types of softwares that you can get to program this radio, and it's recommended that you get the software because it makes it a lot easier. The manual is not the greatest. It's better than the TYT though. But anyway, here's the software that's linked up to the PowerWorks website that they provide for free to program this specific radio. And you just download it for free, install it, and boom, you're done. The only thing you got to do really is mess around with the COM ports to verify that you got the correct COM port to talk to your radio. There's another free software called the KG-UV6 Commander, and that's built by a ham radio operator that makes the VX7 Commander software that is pretty good. This is a beta version, so you take responsibility for your own actions if you break your radio because it's a beta version. But anyway, it's a hell of a lot better than that other software. The layout is hell of a lot better. So I got my 4 channels here, eeny, meeny, miny, and mo, and I could totally I could totally program this radio the way I like it. And then you got all these configuration tabs here, way easier to navigate. And it's working on my radio, so it should work on yours. And also, I think it kind of searches for the COM port, so it's almost self-configure. It configures itself just about. So link the address in the bottom there to see if you could download this software for free.
Radio consuming on transmission, beaming from the mountain top using oral ammunition.